As I'm speaking to you now, right now, my dear brothers and sisters, as you are enjoying peace and tranquility here in Dearborn Heights, there are thousands of your brothers and sisters in the city, in the village of Awaamiya, in Khateef, in the eastern part of Saudi Arabia, are being bombarded with the Saudi weaponry day and night for last 9 days. There is an all-out war going on now in Khateef, right now that I'm talking to you. With bullets, with cannons, with airplanes, with all type of weapons the Saudi government now is using against the civilians in Al-Khateef and Al-Awaamiya. For what? What did these people do to deserve all this annihilation? Why they are being killed? And by the way, my dear brothers and sisters, those people are being attacked, killed and injured, and nobody talks about them. Nobody talks about their plight. You know why? Because everybody fears the Saudi regime and its influence. Unfortunately, the Saudi regime managed to buy all those reporters, newspapers, especially in the Arab world. So no one can talk about the plight of the Saudi innocent inside Saudi Arabia, particularly in Khateef and Awaamiya. They are all trying to court the Saudi regime, be nice to them, because they don't want the wrath of the Saudis to be brought on them. No one talks about the plight of those innocent people in Awaamiya. You hardly hear it in the news. You hardly hear it in our media outlet. Did you hear about that in CNN? No. Do you hear about it in Fox News? No. You remember, my dear brothers and sisters, when a year ago a gorilla in Ohio Zoo was killed. You saw the uproar, the commotion in the world over the killing one gorilla. And there are now thousands of innocent people, of your brothers and sisters in Al-Awaamiya, are being bombarded and being killed by the Saudi security, and no one talks about it. Why is that? Why this world is so hypocritical? Why this world uses double standards, that when some innocent people in the Middle East and Saudi Arabia are being killed, no one dares to talk about it? Because everybody is afraid of the Saudi regime. Saudis can buy anybody with their money, unfortunately. And they can keep everybody silent with their money, unfortunately. They are capable of buying any person, including the President of the United States. So, unfortunately, my dear brothers and sisters, this is happening right now. Those innocent people are being killed, being attacked, their homes are being demolished, their entire neighborhoods are being annihilated and wiped out. No one would say anything. Why? Simply because those people are asking for their rights, to have their basic rights. They didn't ask for much. And every time they dare to ask for their rights, the answer is the weapon, the sword, the bullet in their heart and in their head. When last year, when 2 years ago, a sheikh, a respected sheikh, all he did, he asked the government of Saudi Arabia to give those minorities, especially the Shia community, their rights. The answer was to chop his head off. Al-Shaheed al-Sheikh al-Nimr. Now when some people protested against the Saudi regime and they wanted their rights to be ensured, Again, the answer was bullets and weapons. Unfortunately, this is happening at the time that the president of this country, the most powerful man on earth, is choosing Saudi Arabia to be his first foreign destination. He's visiting Saudi Arabia today to meet the Saudi leaders and 30 other Muslim leaders. Look at the irony. Now all of a sudden, Mr. Trump is in love with Muslims and he wants to meet them and their leaders. Last year he said Islam hates us. Last year he attacked Islam. Last year he said he will shut down Muslims from coming to the United States. Last year he had a security advisor, national security advisor, who called Islam cancer. Now all of a sudden, Mr. Trump is in love with Islam. And with who? With the Wahhabis. The Wahhabis, who are the main financer of terrorism in the world. Wahhabis who have been supporting all those terrorists in the world, from Boko Haram to ISIS to Al-Qaeda to Abu Sayyaf in Philippines. Every terrorist now in the world that speaks in the name of Islam is being financed by the Wahhabis. So our president chose Saudi Arabia to be his first foreign destination. Shame on him and shame on them. Shame on him for choosing Saudi Arabia to be his first destination. And shame on those 30 so-called Muslim leaders who came like slaves to meet Trump after him attacking their religion, after him depicting their religion as a religion that hates America. With what face Trump is going to meet Muslims after what he said about Islam and Muslims? And on what basis those 30 puppets are traveling to Saudi Arabia to meet Trump? Why they found it very important for them to leave their countries and fly to Saudi Arabia and meet Trump? Why? Other than being a bunch of puppets who have no control over their affairs, and all they have to do is to listen to the big boss. Unfortunately, I say this with so much pain in my heart, that 30 Muslim leaders had to fly from their countries heading to Saudi Arabia simply because Mr. Trump, now all of a sudden he is in love with Islam and Muslims. And he wants to meet Muslim leaders. And he has a message of peace to Islam. Look, who is preaching now? He is telling us to be good Muslims. He is going to Saudi Arabia in the midst of so many scandals and so many troubles. He is in his 118 days of presidency, and he is moving from one trouble to another, causing so much pain for this nation and for the world due to his recklessness. So it is very unfortunate that no one has the audacity to tell the Saudis. I hope one of those 30 puppets who are meeting in Saudi Arabia, one of them will have the audacity to tell Saudis, enough. Last week, Saudis signed a deal of $300 billion to buy $300 billion worth of weapons from the United States. What does Saudis do with all this weapon? Who they want to fight with? And who they are using it against? They are using those weapons against the innocent Yemenis, defenseless Yemenis, who are facing hunger, starvation, and famine, and poverty. They want to use those weapons to kill their own people in Khateef and Awaamiya. You think Saudis will dare to use those weapons against the true enemy of Islam? And we all know who the true enemy of Islam is. Saudis will never dare to use that weapon, these weapons against the true enemy of Islam, against Israel. But they are willing to use it against their own Muslim brothers in Yemen, in Khateef, in Syria, in other places. This is what they are good for. To spread fitna and trouble and division and civil war among Muslims. We have no one to complain but to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By saying, Allahumma kshuf hadihi al-ghummata an hadihi al-ummah. Allahumma ansur al-Islam wal-Muslimin. Wakhdul al-kufra wal-munafiqeen. Ayyid wa saddid humat al-deen. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين والمظلومين يا رب العالمين. اللهم ومن أراد الإسلام والمسلمين المظلومين بسوء فأرده يا الله، ومن كادهم فكده يا الله. اللهم سدد أسلحتهم إلى نحورهم يا الله. اللهم أفشل كيدهم وسعيهم يا رب العالمين. وفقنا لما تحب وترضى. عجل فرج مولانا، وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات، ولشفاء مرضانا وقضاء حوائجنا. نقرأ السورة المباركة الفاتحة.